Martin Luther King talked about this particular issue and this particular phrase, right to work. He said, in our glorious fight for civil rights, we must guard against being fooled by false slogans such as right to work. It's a law to rob us of our civil rights and our job rights. Its purpose is to destroy labor unions and the freedom of collective bargaining, by which unions have improved wages and working conditions of everyone. Wherever these laws have been passed, wages are lower, job opportunities are fewer, and there are no civil rights. We do not intend to let them do this to us. We demand this fraud be stopped. And that's what it is. It's a fraudulent turn of the word right to work.
Senator Thompson, what is the problem?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Yeah. What is the problem that you're trying to solve? We have already got these rights guaranteed to us. The rights that you are wanting to preserve, we already have. So I'm wondering what rights you're trying to preserve in the Constitution.
Senator Thompson.
I mean, we already have them.
Mr. Chairman and Senator McGuire, I simply believe that it should be at the core of our fundamental liberty that you can contract to work for me if I'm a business owner, or I can contract to work for you if you're a business owner, and that we can enter into that contract freely without whichever one of us is the employer being compelled as a condition of our employment to give up a part of our salary to a third-party organization that we may prefer not to pay, and that in fact may advocate for things that we disagree with.
The testimony that we've heard, Senator Thompson, does not actually support what I think you just said. We did not hear testimony that shows that any of those things are at risk, and I believe that we have these rights already in Constitution, and that I've not been shown that any of those risks, that any of those rights are in danger.
They send us here to legislate, not always to vote, to legislate through referendum. Can you tell me why you chose to do that versus this?
I certainly can. I do believe strongly that this is something that should not be decided at the whim of a legislature and the governor. Mr. Chairman, since the question was asked of me what percentage of states have done this via constitutional amendment, and the number is 8. So that would be 8 of 23, so that means just slightly over 1 out of 3 states have done it. So while we would be not in the majority doing it through the Constitution, it is certainly not an insignificant minority when about 1 out of 3 states are doing it in this fashion.
So just real quickly, Mr. Chair, so my point is then that those states that actually pass it via legislation, it does work in that process. It does work. That process has worked then. Am I following it? Am I tracking you right?
Senator Thompson.
Mr. Chairman, Senator Ingebrigtsen, if I understand the question correctly, could this be done via legislation as opposed to through the Constitution? The answer is yes, it can, and it has been.
Thank you.
I think it's problematic that we have a unionized state where employees are required to contribute union dues that are then directed in political contributions without their real participation in that decision. I think that's problematic.
I understand that this will take away some of the power from the union. That's life. We live in America. If you're doing a good job, you won't take power, you'll increase your power. You got to work for it.
The free rider issue drives me insane. And somebody shouldn't be able to join a union and then or be working on a union and pay nothing, and that's one of the problems with this bill. But we get no perfect bill here. We get no perfect bills most of the time here, and so I don't know again how we get there from here. But I know we have some problems, and I know we need some changes, and I've sat with my union friends, and they want to kill it at this point, obviously, from the people in the hallway, but I want to see it get a full hearing in Jobs. I don't know why Jobs wouldn't take it, but we put it here because I think we have the guts to hear everything.
With a motion of seven yeas, 6 nays, the motion does prevail.